So this perception and practicing the Wu, this is another one. Okay, there's a sage. Okay, taken the oath to be honest, but there was a guy hiding on top of the tree, I think, yeah. And the people will come chasing after the guy, wanted to kill him. So of course the sage, what will you do? Yeah. So of course I think this is very evident. Sometimes you need to tell lie to save a life. Yeah. Sometimes at your own expense. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So that's why I really coming back to the snake because I would like to elaborate a bit. So the issue was, for example, either you leave it, you kill it, and you cause somebody to catch it away. Another way of thinking, another way of analogy is actually the snake you meet in your life are actually human. A lot of people have this problem. Sometimes because in their life they meet people who are supposed to be the benefactor, but they actually end up actually is the poisonous snake. So what do you do? This is again, you know, uh, how you use your perception and how you use your ooh at each situation. So of course, I think a lot of us come through life. Sometimes we meet people who are always, appear friendly, and after gaining your trust, they sometimes they what I call they sabotage you or they cause you to make some losses, especially in businesses. Huh? When you always have a partner or something like that, some of these issues will arise. So in life, actually, the snake story is just what I call an illustration that actually you can use for people to meet along the way in their life. Okay, next slide. Next one. So the Tao actually is to teach us how to live naturally. That the Tao is a reality, and the Tao teaches to face and understand the situation. Instead of running or escaping, you try to face it with your very calm mind, objective mind, and to solve your problem. Yeah. Okay. Next. So the aim of this actually is to our school is to teach you the true Tao. Yeah. In Chinese, it's Suan Yang Zhen Tao. Yeah. To decimate the true Tao. And the other thing is to Po Mi Kai Wu. That means is for you to demolish your superstition and awaken your consciousness. You see, this is a situation that sometimes a lot of people get taken advantage of because lack of knowledge. When there is lack of knowledge, you don't have the power. When you have the knowledge, you have the power to understand things. So a lot of people knowing the weakness of human being, yeah, always manipulate people because of that weakness that people you can manage people actually by fear and greed. So sometimes you find some not so what I call principal teachers or leaders to manage the people by instilling fear, yeah? And of course also greed. Yeah? So this is how through your practice you awaken your own consciousness, what we call refer as Fomi Kaiu. Yeah? You open up your consciousness. And of course, the third one is you improve your human life in all aspects. Of course, your physical body, your mind, your behavior, your higher self. Okay, next one, next slide. Now, the K, the other part which talk about Tao Su is basically on the Qigong. Actually, it's a science as well, you know. And in fact, this diagram show you actually how the energy system work in our body. And this has been, proven in many scientific studies. Actually, the meridian, you cannot you cannot detect it. It's, through autopsy or something, you cannot see because when the person is dead, there's no chi, no flow. The chi meridian is not like a vein, not a like a, it's it's it, it's an energy wave, but there's no wiring like a wire, but it's a bioelectrical system of the body. So the bioelectrical system of the body works this way. That the chi, when you inhale, you will you will you will push it down to the breath, and then it will come out to the back and go up to the head and down. So this is what we call there's a circular flow of this energy along the front of the back, and then it comes up to the spinal column. So this flow, we call it a small heavenly circle sometimes. Chinese we call it a xiaozhouquan, a small heavenly circle, and it's a continuous flow of energy. So whether a person is strong or weak will depend on the energy flow. So if energy is very thin or energy is very broad or strong, that will depend on the person's health. So with the practice of this Taoying with our special breathing methodology, you will achieve uh, what I call much improved health. So this practice of this breathing is in fact very unique in our school. In fact, in certain school, you find a lot of people who practice qigong, and then they have a big tummy. Yeah, because the qi sometimes also gets stuck. Yeah, or too much of it is accumulated around the tummy. Yeah, so you always find some this even practitioner or even a qigong master, they always have a big tummy. But in our school, we use a different breathing method. That always the tummy of the practitioner will have a small tummy because of the breathing method that we use and how we consolidate the qi. So if you find that people who learn the qigong and then they have a big tummy, obviously this is not a correct method, or it will just do not promote a better health. Yeah, and you have a big tummy, that actually the qi is stuck in your lower abdomen, and it also accumulate all the fat. But with the proper qigong breathing method, you should have a slimmer tummy, and you should have a stronger flow of the qi around. Yeah. So this one only we teach it to people who are initiated by the master. Yeah. Because it involves certain other techniques. How we should lock the qi in. Because a lot of people, they practice the qigong you see in the normal what I call in the park and all that, but the qi is scattered. The qi is not what I call concentrated. So that type of qi has limited use or effect to promote your health because it's scattered. Okay, next slide. The next one. So, okay. So of course a little bit also on the Taoying Su. Yeah, it's basically our meridian. They are like our energy gateway around the body. Yeah, and how the information flow is actually a bioelectrical system. Yeah, and in fact, sometimes some people have even compared it to Einstein's study of E equal m2 squared, is it? E equal mq squared, E equal mc squared. But actually, it's also a light form, yeah. And we will practice qigong and practice this method. Your thought alone can manifest the qi, yeah. And if you are able to do that, and we call this state Yi Dao Qi Dao, you can project your qi, your thought into an energy form, and that can be over time and space. Yeah, as some people call this distant healing. Yeah, if you look at further up, maybe later you can check out on some of my video. I have a lot of videos that I've made. Just Google my name, CP Teo Qigong, you will find some of these videos which I demonstrated. Okay, next one, okay. Okay, the Taoism is also a practice of your consciousness. Yeah, uh, and this is a combination, a kind of a mind and a body exercise that you can what I call merge them together, and this enable your healing process. And of course, when you practice this again, you are in the full awareness. You are not in a trance. So there are some type of certain school you call like the Qigong. That means the person practice Qigong but in an erratic form, in the manner that he has no control. So that is very dangerous. So sometimes that can lead to accident, or if the Qi got stuck, they can even manifest in issue like mental stability, things like that. Yeah, but when we practice through our method, because it's a spiritual method, there is a spiritual guide to protect you from this type of happening. So that's the difference. Sometimes you can, like you said in the previous talk, you know, there was this discussion about some time of spiritual awakening. Yeah. So when you have sometimes this type of issue, some people can go into a state of erratic motion. Yeah. Sometimes it can carry on for some period of time. Yeah. And because of this, it can be very dangerous if we are not guided properly, and there's no spiritual divine protection. Okay, next one. So this is how the picture of what takes place during the initiation. So the presiding master, in that case, one was I think in China. There was the old master on the left. Uh, he will recite some sort of mantra, and that allows that energy to enter in your body, and you will be able to start to move. You know, your arms, your hand will start to be able to move, to be able to separate, and to be able to turn. So at that time, you just follow the motion. So this is during the process of what we call this Tao In Su initiation. So the master will read the Chen Yuan, that is like a mantra, some divine words and things like that. And this, of course, later will be given to those people who participate. So each time when they practice, they are supposed to recite this, so they have some kind of protection, and they be able to practice without fear. Yeah. And okay, maybe it's the next slide. So the again, okay, these are some of the slides. Even in China, when our master went there, because this art was actually lost. So even the Taoist monk in the Taoist temple, they asked to be initiated in this practice. Yeah. So since we brought them in, okay, this okay, saw the photo. Okay, next photo. Let me explain. Okay, this one was, I think, the first initiation, the top left-hand corner in UK. Yeah, this is the first one. You see, the colored man. The one that he was in the first batch, a bit bald-headed. That is the guy that I first contacted. So that was it about maybe 8 years ago. I think it was the first batch, and these are some of the one in Singapore. Yeah, on the second, on the right hand side, it was in Singapore. It was the third time, I think. Yeah, third. And again, on the bottom one is Singapore, and we have done initiation the Philippines as well. I think in Cebu. Yeah. So again, these are the first one. The sixth initiation was the first time actually we went to Malaysia from Singapore, and of course, it has been very successful. At the time, we have almost about 50 people who joined us. And then we have also in Penang, in KL, in Kajang, which is a place in Selangor. So all in all, we have done, I think, altogether up to date, 24 initiation. Yeah? Since the time I brought them in January 2016. Yeah. So last year we even went to India, and for the first time in India, I think there were 60 odd people. Yeah. This was the first time actually in Genting when we first launched the plan, 2017. And you see on the top left-hand corner, this is where we practice early morning our proprietary meditation, which is absorbing the sun's energy. We call it a Tai Yang Shen Gong. That means with our practice, we can tap the energy of the sun. Yeah, the sun, of course, is what I call the strongest energy you can find in the solar system. Huh? You can create life, and of course, if you know how to tap this energy, it's very useful. A lot of people, as we age, your energy, actually young energy, get depleted. Yeah, and if you do not do something, of course, your energy will slowly deplete. Yeah, so this is one of our proprietary technique where we learn how to tap the energy from the sun, from the rising sun. So it's very useful for people who are ill, who are not in the best of health, and just 10, 15-minute practice in the morning, you will be sort of energized for the whole day. Those who have poor circulation in the limb, hands, and all that, yeah, this will be very effective. Okay, next slide. And of course, it's not just such sharing. We because we are all over. We have in fact, in Indonesia, we have a very big grouping because it started because the master was there. So they have almost 40 years history. There were 18 temples there, our own temple. And they have actually more than over 100,000 people have learned this in Indonesia alone. Then in our side, in Singapore, Malaysia, we think close to 800 plus, nearly 1,000 now, have learned this art. So because of this, we have a wide contact, and we always organize some activities for our member. That was, for example, our first trip to Indonesia. It's one of the island around the temple in Sumatra. So there are, I said, we have over 20 of these our meditation center around Indonesia. Okay, next one. Okay, this one, of course, in Singapore, what we do is our group, we have a weekly practice until recently. In fact, we always gather for Chinese New Year, and most of the time before this COVID-19, we have a weekly gathering at the aged home in Geylang. That's why we also do our monthly service. We cook for the old people once a month, and we use the what I call the open ground space, the shelter pavilion where we do our practice. Yeah, okay, next one. Okay, next. Okay, I don't think I can click on this. I don't know whether you can count. I don't think so. That actually the show. Can I? Okay. Can I? Can show? Okay. This is where we practice the early morning practice. Yeah. This is the Tai Yang circle in the morning. This was in Genting. Genting. So you can see everybody is. Some of them are moving. This is a short one. Okay, let's on. Okay, see whether you can open. Oh, this is the place where you practice our Sunday group. So as you can see, some of these practice, some of them moving a lot, some of them just do not move. So sometimes the movement varies. Some will move more. Some once you have some of your problem solved, say some of the what I call blockages cleared, then you might just go into a simple quiet meditation. So that is some of the way. Okay, further down, I think there's another video. Next one. Okay, these are, I think, very difficult to read. Testimonial, I think later maybe I can show you, but we have a lot of this written testimonial and also video testimonial. Later I can just tell you where to find that. Yeah, maybe we just can skip this because we have a lot. This is a written testimonial from our UK side actually. Those are from our UK side. Okay, this is just a short one. This is some of this, like this one. After the initiation, this guy had a bit of connection. He started to be able to write and draw things. Yeah. So these are quite common. Yeah. Some will be able to write in legible writing. Some will be, some art form. And some, for example, recently last year when I went to India, we have our Indian Taoyu that could, after the initiation, write in honey pinging to us. And of course, she didn't know what it was. So she showed us, and we could read that he said like, Kong Si, in honey ping, Kong Kong, Kong Si Si, Xi, Kong Si Ni, ha ha ha. 恭喜你学到，哈哈哈. So you see a lot of these people, because I think the Indian are also quite spiritual. In fact, we had more than 50 people. I think I have more than 20 of their video testimony. All of them show that they had some spiritual connection. Some could hear, some could see some things. Yeah. So maybe later you can check it out. Okay, maybe the next slide. There was one video that I want to show, I think, at the end. Next one.